Albert Pike, isn't he a lovely fellow? Luciferian, head of the first founder of the Ku Klux Klan, 1866. And by the way, the only black leader I have any respect for is Malcolm X. You know why? Because Malcolm X said the Ku Klux Klan and the Nation of Islam have the same paymasters. And for that, they put him to death. And according to his wife, it was the high command of the FBI, J. Edgar Hoover, with the high command of the Nation of Islam, Elijah Muhammad, and Louis Farrakhan, all Masons of the Prince Hall Rite. And the Nation of Islam has nothing to do with Islam. They're fakes. It's just a hate the white man religion.
I know y'all ready. And y'all been ready. Know what I'm saying? Iron Sheik. Melanites were the first Asians and Mayans. The first sellout had the mindset I did. Albion hybrids, the first in fur coats. We first rode monsoons in papyrus boats. A set, the first immaculate conception. They stole the concept and Asar's erection. First Patare of medicine, Imhotep. If Lucy's bones were a cartoon, she's Smurfette. I say Patare, that's where we get farther. Paternal matriarch has been martyred. First knowledge we had has been bartered for idol gods instead of the universe charted. Our first schools didn't teach the mental bondage. Self-centered problems, no God, self can solve it. First rituals with wands, not cauldrons. The first goddess and gods are now maximum carnage. Checkmate and get rushed or dumped in garbage. Flemo and region was first in turf nonsense. Pioneers calcified and stay hard until they calcify. Axioba priests or Washington shamans. We are the future, past and present. Been here, no need to represent. We are the future, past and present. Been here, no need to represent. We are the future, past and present. Been here, no need to represent. We are the future, past and present. Been here, no need to represent. No need to represent. Been here, no need to represent. No need to represent. Been here, no need to represent. We weren't first eating Tim Hortons for breakfast, exchanging energy for rims, Tims and Lexus. We first spoke telepathic, no need to text us.
Islam.
Islam, fam.
How's the family?
You made it.
I keep forgetting about that thing, but I'm gonna get at you just now, man, because these guys are playing around or something. Every time.
I was checking out some of your Facebook postings last night.
Yeah.
Had another brother out there trying to get at you about the, was it last night or was it the night before? He was trying to get at you about Albion Moors.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, it's not the place or the forum for disagreement with Moors. I mean, we're supposed to be sticking together. We can disagree peacefully, you know.
Well.
We lost.
Yeah, I just realized that. I don't know what the hell happened. You hear me? This is what's going on right now. Trying to do class. What is this? Just to show you. Just to show you. Right, computer frozen. Right. Too loud.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, yo. So the secret word is unity.
That's how you get in the door.
That's how you get it done. Unity. right? Because after it shut out, the speaker was making all the, wait till you hear the playback.
I said it was still playing.
Wait.
I said the thing's still going.
Wait till you hear the playback. I'm like, what is this right now? You know what? Let's start up with the prayer. Let's be safe.
All the time.
Yeah, let's be safe, because somebody's trying something tonight. 5 on the left, 2 on the right. A lot of Father of the universe.
Lord, Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth.
Truth.
Peace.
Peace.
Freedom.
Freedom.
And justice.
And justice.
Allah is my protector.
Lord is my protector.
My guide.
My guide.
And my salvation.
And my salvation.
By night.
By night.
And by day.
And by day.
To his holy prophet.
To his holy prophet.
Noble Juali.
Noble Juali.
Alright, so I'm gonna do this official, because we need to get all the powers up tonight. We need to get all the powers up tonight, because they are coming hard to try to get this knot out there. Alright, so we start with a warning from the prophet to be read in every meeting. So every time the Moors come together, they have to read this. And if we just do, you could just do your own research, right? And there's Moors that say that they're for the prophet, adhere to the prophet, and all that, right? Like some of these same people commenting and all that, right? But when you ask them about the letters to be read every meeting, you know, they don't know about it. And they're in the temple with a nationality card. But they don't know about the letter. And then when you bring up the letter, they're gonna make it sound like, you know, that's the infiltration. Right? And then that's how you know who's the infiltrator. Because they would talk in favor of the discrepancies in Noble Juali's literature. Right? So like in the Divine Constitution, when it has partial, P-A-R-T-I-A-L, and parcel, P-A-R-C-E-L, right? And if we take it on a higher level, parcel is nationalized because it has the L on there, right? Parse L. So obviously that's what was supposed to be written there, not the other one.
Two different meanings.
Right? Yeah.
Entirely.
Exactly. Right? So with the readings that have to be read every meeting is because this is the prophet. It's not just some, you know what I mean, black liberation guy that had a good idea and said, yeah, you know what, I think I'm gonna awake the people and tell them that they're Moors. Like his position is an internationally recognized position because there's sovereigns all over the world, right? Like people have the perspective of sovereignty only on this side and in Europe. And there's Japanese sovereignty, there's Chinese sovereignty, Philippine sovereignty, Australian sovereignty, right? And all of it's based on birthright. Everywhere that you go, it's based on birthright. And then that's what Noble Juali was teaching. And then when people realized what he was really doing, they said, you know what, I'm going to take the check. Like Noah with the ark. But then want to come banging on the door after. Or let me in. You know what I mean? So a warning from the prophet. And if we break it down, because this is really what it's really about. Because when the thing started making the noise and stuff like that, I was like, okay, yeah, for real. You know what I mean? Like, it has to be clear, because we have to go on the, as active Moors, because we know the full scope, right? When they say meet people on their level or whatever, right? That doesn't mean dumb down your lesson. That means approach them on their level, where they're at, because we're the adepts. Like, we could snap and make a man pick up something on the ground. It's no big deal, because we're the adepts. We're the magicians. We're the witches and the warlocks with the cauldron that they said, oh yeah, those guys, right? And Noble Drew Ali is the head of all that. Celtic druids and Stonehenge, and looking into the universe and looking at planets and all that's Noble Drew Ali, right? Because he's a prophet. And if a prophet says warning, and he said read it every meeting, and then people aren't doing it, then they're on their own. Because that's going directly against, like, his own words. We're not even talking about, something that they said he did or might have done. We're talking about him coming up and saying, okay, you know what? As the prophet, I'm going to send this letter out, and this has to be read in every temple at every meeting from this date, 1929, January. Right? I hereby inform all members that they must put an end to all radical and agitating speeches while on their jobs, homes, or in the public streets. Right? So right there, that's a warning to all Negro, Black, Color, Black Power, SETI, and all those guys. Prophet's talking to them. Dead the agitating, radical speeching. Because it's not needed. And we have a birthright in this. Right? We advocate peace and not destruction. Stop trying out your cards with Europeans, for it causes confusion. Right? So this is instance where that quote unquote being, troglodyte, whatever, comes up. Right? Who we call European nowadays. Okay? And he said, in one hand, we advocate peace and not destruction. Stop trying out your cards with the Europeans, for it causes confusion. Right? And it's causing confusion because Europeans don't need to know anything about what we're doing, because we're our own entity. It's not that serious that you have to show them something, because nationality is a mind frame. No card have to do it regardless who it is. Don't stop trying out your cards with everybody, because you're really the nationality card. It's not the card. You're the nationality card. Right? There has been much confusion caused by members trying out their cards. Right? So what's he telling them? He's telling them that the Moorish Science Temple of America card in 1929, right, was to be recognized as a membership card. It says right there, members trying out their cards. So if that's the members' cards, then that means those cards are theirs. But on the card, it talks about nationality. It says members, but it's not specific as to members of what. Like, what are you members of? We could be members of a state. We could be members of an empire. Right? The cards are for your salvation. Right? So knowledge of self, or being the nationality card, is our salvation, not the card. You know, you get caught up in the card, and then that's why you have confusion with 80 different Moorish groups have 80 different cards. And not just one card like what Noble Drew Ali had from the start. So that's really all you needed, right? Failure of obeying my orders will be of severe consequence. And keep in mind, this is after Noble Drew Ali already said, everything that I say is spirit, so Moors better heed. Everything that I say is spirit, so Moors better heed. And then you have Moors, you know, just gonna come, just throwing out quotes of the Prophet like it's some religious doctrine or something. Right? Because that's how they were taught. They were taught about the national side of the movement, which is where all this letters are coming from, because these letters are actually public notice. These letters are like when you put man's face on a warrant and say dead or alive. That's what these letters were. And they wasn't coming from no sheriff or nothing like that. It was coming from the Prophet. We are for love, truth, peace, freedom, and when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Right? Any member or group of members that seek to hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the Prophet, or to violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement, will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors must obey the laws laid down to them by their Prophet. And if they lose confidence in their Prophet, give up your card and button, cease wearing your turban and fez, and return to the state where I, the Prophet, found you. For this is a holy and divine movement, founded by the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. And if the Prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The Prophet is sending out a divine plea to all true Moorish Americans that they may do their part in protecting their Prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the Prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways. Noble Drew Ali. Right? For this is a holy and divine movement. Right? This is a holy and divine movement. But it's also national. Right? And it's exactly what the Vatican is right now. Like what the Vatican is right now is what the Moorish Science Temple was in 1913. Right? But he didn't do one of those. He had another letter. He said, make sure you read this letter every meeting. And then you go around and you ask around, nobody's not going to be able to say, yeah, I have those letters. Not even heard them. Do you have those letters in your possession as Moors? Say that you uphold the Prophet, okay, cool, right? These things were extracted from the package that you're supposed to get for free when you come into the temple. And then they got splintered off and put in over, and some people have stuff over here, and you know, people dying with stuff. Like there's stuff, you know what stuff people died with? That the Prophet brought for everyone to get. And people died holding on to things. Right? But Drew Ali said, you know, he's going to do his work from the salt plane. Because he knows Moors, all those dirty Moors, they have to pass there before they go wherever they're going after here. So they're gonna bump into the Prophet again. And all those unjust deeds, they're gonna receive their rewards for all that stuff that they did. You know? So he warned them, right? And then to be proclaimed in every meeting. Islam, I'm glad to know that I have a few faithful Moors among you all, and I desire for them to know the truth and the divine truth. There is a host of jealousy about me and the movement by now, by the same people on our side of the nation that claim it was only a joke and unreal. But now, since they have found out from the government officials and the nations of the earth that this is the only sole foundation that all Asiatics must depend upon for their earthly salvation as American citizens. Right? As American citizens, not U.S. citizens. Right? American citizens. Right? And then you look up America and you see why he said that. So people aren't confused. Oh, well, you know, big C, small c with citizen, does he mean whatever? It doesn't matter. Like, if we're in the Americas, we're American citizens. Right? Because that's just what it is. They are working every scheme that they can to disqualify me so they themselves may take charge of the situation. We're seeing that going on right now. People trying to own the Prophet stuff. Right? The European coming and talking about Moors in more positive light than Moors talk about Moors. And Moors are bashing him and saying he can't talk like that and he can't call himself a Moor. Or, you know, you're a Muslim son, you're not a Moor. What are you talking about? How is he a Muslim son and he's not a Moor? If Moors are Muslim sons. Because Moors are also Muslim sons. So if Moors are Muslim sons and European are Muslim sons, then why can't we say Europeans are Moors? You know what I mean? It's a foolish argument. But Noble Drew Ali said he came to get us to think. And a lot of our people get conscious, but they stop thinking. So it's just conscious stagnation. Right? Like literally. People just have info and info just sitting there. No activation of the info. Info just there, whether it's in their brain, whether it's on shelves, on bookshelves, and they just sit there and don't get used, whatever. Right? Working every scheme that they can to disqualify me so they themselves may take charge of the situation. I have notified all these things to you long ago in the past. It is to the faithful Moors that attribute to the Moorish movement, it is to the faithful Moors that attribute to the movement and uplifting funds. The ones that paid their divine respect to me and the movement will be remembered. That is why I am calling upon all faithful Moors to increase their faithfulness to me, your prophet, and your divine Moorish movement. I need finance and I need it badly. Never before have I needed finance so badly as I do at present, so I can shove aside the discord that is facing the nation. Right? So he's saying that he needs finance so badly. And he could have did like some of these Moors and charged for nationality. And he would have been a gazillionaire. Because they're talking about a man prophesizing that the Great Depression is going to happen. So we better unite and put all our everything together in one trust and protect ourselves. Because you can't do anything else. Like you know what I mean? There's going to be a depression. You're not stopping it. Right? It all comes through jealousy because of my fame and nobility. So that's for all those people who were claiming that somebody gave him the authority that he had. When the authority that he had came from the fact that he was indigenous to the Americas. That's the authority, right? And based on how he exercised throughout his life, right, was validation of his fame and nobility that nobody gave to him but Allah. Because that's the prophet. Just like all the other prophets that they list on the nationality cards, and ones that aren't listed on the nationality cards because it's just too much prophets to put on the nationality card. So we'll stick to the ones that people know of. Right? The nations of the world, right? So this is for all the Negro, Black, Colored, African, Pan-African, whatever they call themselves, Sumerian, Egyptian, gods of Kush, whatever, right? The nations of the world will not recognize the movement, right? Now remember, over here, he said that is why I am calling upon all faithful Moors to increase their faithfulness to me, your prophet, and your divine Moorish movement. But then on this side, he says the nations of the world will not recognize the movement, right? Which is letting us know that our divine Moorish movement, which is the Old Canaanite Temple, Moorish Holy Temple of Science, Moorish Science Temple of America, and all sub-group and organizations that deal with the 5 principles that Noble Drew Ali laid down, and nationality, birthrights, and all that, right? That is the divine Moorish movement, but the movement is the nation, and that's why it's in reference to the nations of the world will not recognize the movement, because the Moorish movement isn't an organization, a group, or whatever. It's the Moorish nation. It's the Moorish empire, right? The nations of the world will not recognize the movement without I, the prophet, being head. It has been proven by my works, which I have performed in the last few years, right? And if we go through and we check everybody else's literature, right? Everybody else that everybody claims is whoever, right? They don't speak in this perspective. They speak from the perspective that they're part of some group. They don't speak nationhood, right? Because they're always tying it back to some fiction that they want to assume that's who we are. When the only thing that we can be is the last name we fell in. And everybody knows that the last stronghold of dark-skinned people everywhere in the world, everybody knows that it was the Moors when they kicked them out of Spain in 1492. Everybody knows that. So how are we going to want to rise in a name that's not our name? How are we going to want to rise and be counted when we're not even saying that Noble Drew Ali is our prophet? When that's supposed to be standard. Like off the bat, that's just what it is. Noble Drew Ali is a prophet. We move on from there. Right? But we just have to get those readings out there once again, you know, just so they're out there.
Where do we get those letters at, Brother Kojo?
There's the Moorish literature. If you go on RV Bay, they have the Moorish literature, and I got they might also be on RV Bay, somewhere on the RV Bay site. Maybe under the Noble Drew Ali section.
Sonar. Okay. 50 sonar.
Yeah. So, right. But yeah, yo, we could put it up now. If you have any questions, we can start with.
No, nothing, I don't have, this what we, was corresponding about earlier.
Yeah, okay. All right. So, start with, okay, so the bank account thing, right? Now, if like we're sticking to the profit, so we could eliminate all the confusion, right? Now, Noble Drew Ali made a statement that don't get rid of the slave name, right? Do all your business going forward in your free national name, but don't get rid of the slave name, right? Because as a prophet, he's seen everything what we're going through gonna happen. So our nationality was put in place as a safeguard, right? Not to, you know, use it and take advantage and try to get out of, you know, obligations that you have in contracts, right? But the nationality was put in place so that if it does come to what Noble Drew Ali prophesies that it's gonna come to, you know, them melting down bells to make bullets and just madness, army in the street and all that, all the things Noble Drew Ali talked about, that he said is gonna happen, it's happening right now, right? We have to take nationality and declaring it and proclaiming it to the level of being it. Because everybody always gets caught up in what their financial situation is at the moment, and that there's money attached to this birth certificate, strawman, bond, whatever, that they have access to, right? Which might be true. It might be true, right? But we're not poor people. We are the heirs to the largest estate, like, known in the world. And when you know, it comes back to the same thing about studying. When you research the Moorish Empire, you'll find out how many people know about it. And it's not a secret. And everybody knows about this place called the Moorish Empire. And it's referenced a lot. Just like they reference Egypt and sphinxes and pyramids. And you just say that and everybody knows, oh yeah, Giza, and you know what I mean, yeah, Orion's belt, whatever, yeah. Okay, same thing with the Moorish Empire. Everybody's very clear about what it is, right? But if we're not clear about what it is, we're gonna get caught up in things that really have nothing to do with us, and we're only caught up because we're bored. Because we're not being active. We have time to do madness, you know, like really trying to figure out how to discharge debts. When you discharge debts with a writ. That's what, like, what do you mean? You have to do a process. Instead of a writ, tell them what to do. They're the trustees. You're gonna discharge debt, whatever. You don't need to see anything to see if, you know, did they do it to for, you know, so I can get the credit report and then I can go get some credit cards. Like, what are you talking about? That's the straw man. What are you trying to mess with a straw man after you just freed yourself from slavery? Right? So, with the bank account, I'm looking at it like everywhere's fiat. So why am I going to want to put my free national name messing with fiat? When I have a straw man there, that's not mine, but out of private necessity, because I'm under occupation, and I know that it's owned by a colonizer, that was imposed on me, and that's slavery, and peonage, and genocide, kidnapping, extortion, racketeering, fraud, treason, everything, like, list goes on and on. But if I know how to live within contracts, I'm not worried about what they do to that. That has nothing to do with me. I'm before that straw man, right? As a living entity, because I still had to have been born first, and then they make the card or whatever. So I was always before that. That was never something that was attached to me as I took possession of it, even as a child, and not even thinking about not making contracts with minors or nothing like that. Like, you just can't attach that to me. You know what I mean? I came before that. Right? So, yeah, you can do it. You know what I mean? They'll take your not, like, it's like, me and the Moors were joking about how cause, like, what we're doing now is, we're trying out the nationality cards, right? We're trying out the nationality cards because when you are in your proper person from this perspective, you realize that it's not about the card. The card is just like any other thing that you got, right? That you would use as the straw man, but this one card is for everything. Like, that one card, you put that down and that's for everything. That's why he was making the statement of, don't just go show it, because you have to know what you're showing it for. Right? Right? You have to be nationality. Right? Because really and truly, when I show the card, I'm showing the card to prove that address for that box that you got that is my property. So here's the card to show that. And I'm the guy that's the picture. And, well, we need government ID. Well, that is government ID. Well, it's not recognized it's not recognized by you, but that's the government ID. And I suggest that you accept it, because you don't even know what you're doing by not accepting it. The address matches that box that you got right there, right? It says that's going to Moore Science Temple. This card says Moore Science Temple, right? And we send different people, right, to go get the stuff, just to go. Yeah, you go pick it up. Let's see what happens. You know. So one of the Moors went the other day to pick up something, you know, and it was just one of those. Listen, like, that's a government ID, and you're gonna give me that box right there. And, you know, and people are in the line and they're like, "Come, well, why don't you just show her a license? Just show her a whatever, you know, I mean, on the corporate ID, right? Just show her whatever." And he's like, "You have nothing to do with this. You just wait in line." You know what I mean? Because I'm not showing you no corporate ID. I'm showing you governmental ID right here. Well, you want to get your supervisor? You can just get your supervisor, manager, whoever. You know what I mean? Somebody's going to give me that box right there. Well, you know, but we got the box. You know what I mean? But, you know, like, it's once it's you here, we wouldn't have certain questions. You know what I mean? Fully. And I'm not even there fully. I'm there in like certain degrees, you know what I mean? Like water's probably like up to here, you know? And I know how to just get my nose out, get a little air or whatever. But, you know, if it gets like this, I'm done. Because I'm not there. You know what I mean? But it's like we have to look at things, like we have to really change our mind frame. Because, you know, like, because when it comes to, you know, like the account and licenses and, yeah, like they have an obligation to put your free national name, if that's your name, on whatever ID they say they're presenting. You know what I mean? Like, just like anybody else. You prove that that's you, all right? Sure, you know, you got papers or something like that, yeah, here's papers. Or here's a card, or here's whatever. Prove that that's me, okay, whatever. They want to contract with you, they contract with you. If they don't, they give you a hard time. You know, because they see what you're doing. You know, because if you do it in your free national name, you know, your tickets would be easier to fight because, you know, they really don't have jurisdiction. You know, because they need to prove, they need to show the birth certificate for that free national name to have jurisdiction. You can't just claim that that's a, well, yeah, you know, well, it's in all capital letters, so, you know, that's our corporation, and you are trying to be a Moor and use our corporation as, yeah, but then you're admitting now that that's corporation, so they still lose. You know, they still let it out. You know, and really it's not about an account. It's about get a safe and put everything in that. You know, or put everything in trust. Because if you go with the account, you're going to have to do it fiat. Dexit and debit, and, you know, you have a card that says one name from one bank, and you could use that in any bank machine. They just charge you $1 or whatever. Think about that. Think about how fraudulent that is. Like, I have a card that says A bank. And I could go to B bank, C bank, D bank, all down to Z, and withdraw money from my account in that bank machine. They're just going to charge me $1 to do it. And then that's how they make their money. It's not the transactions, it's the fees, because it's feudal. We're under occupation by Rome. So they're doing Roman stuff. In Rome, do as the Romans do, you know, right? You know. But just like Moorish nationality, all these other nationalities are a mind frame as well. Right? Not just ours because we're more scientists. So we're a divine and national movement, and Buddhists aren't. Buddhists are a divine and national movement too. And so are Hindus. And so are all the other ancient religions. They're divine and national movements. When they're ready, they drop the religion on you to, you know, kind of back you off. And then when they're going to take you over, they talk nation. You know that the religion is taking you over. You know what I mean? The religion is there to, you know, make you convert to their stuff. And if you don't, then we're going to burn you at the stake and, you know what I mean, change names of places and names of people and create this whole fiction. And then we're saying we're free, but then we're going to open bank accounts and get licenses and whatever. Right? So it's like, you know, the only way that we compromise and get those things is one, out of private necessity, right? Which means that I have no other choice in the world than to get this bank account from Well, why is that? Well, because it's under occupation. They took away all the gold and the silver since 1933, and you guys are bankrupt. And you're really only using my signature, which isn't really my signature, the signature for some bond that you guys created, but I'm the one that activates it, right? You know, so I gotta come to you so I can liquidate the assets of that straw thing, but you're actually gonna keep the profits from it when it's really supposed to go to me, because I'm the one that's been making this thing live for the past 50 years or whatever, and everything that's on that is really mine. Even if they created it. So nobody's broke. Right? And in the system that we're dealing with, all we're dealing with is the ledger, statement of accounts. And that's all. And that's why I'm mad that I didn't take accounting serious in school. Because that's what they're doing, accounting right now. That's what it is. The red side, the black side. Keep everybody over there in the red, and then keep everybody over here in the red, in the black. And then control everything. When it's not even about that that's going on. It's about the only reason they're able to do that is because they're in control of an estate run by some other people who they don't even know that it's their estate. They think they have to get a bank account. It's not about a bank account. It's about letting everybody else know ASAP. You know we have an estate. That's like the Manchurian sister right now, fighting for her house because they're trying to foreclose. A Manchurian, right, is coming to our classes because she tired of getting robbed and raped by the bank. Right? Like this is her story. One day it just hit her, like, hold on a second. Like, I'm paying twice for my mortgage or whatever. Like, why am I paying twice or whatever? She just started researching to find out about mortgage fraud and all that. And she's coming to class, fighting the court right now on a foreclosure that, like, she came to the Taj lecture, right? So the fraud is, everybody's mad about the fraud, but nobody knows what to do. And what the Moors are presenting is what to do, and it applies to everybody, because everybody's under occupation, right? So, yeah, we're free people. We're Moors. We're Aboriginal and Indigenous. We're the members of the sovereign nation, whatever. But we're under occupation. And we've been under occupation for a long time. So there's certain procedures and policies that might even seem that are, old, that aren't really that old. They're modern. Like the best bank account is a safe. And then everything in that safe, put that in a trust. And that way you get to keep everything. The interest, the whatever, the everything, because you're the one, if you're housing your own stuff, then you're gonna have to charge yourself interest to house your stuff. Right? And then that's how all those guys stay so-called wealthy. You know what I mean? Tilt the scale. And their problem is that, they're doing that, like even like with the banks and stuff like that. Like that's not even their concepts, that's our concepts. that they're just using because we aren't mentally capable of doing it. And if we are, somebody's gonna get greedy and the whole shit's gonna fall just because one guy got greedy. You know what I mean? One guy wanted to, you know, steal one more watch. He has a bag of watches, and this guy just has to get one more watch. You know what I mean? Well, just one more, man. Like, come on, man. No, but you have a bag of them, man. No, just one, man. I didn't get the one I wanted to get. And then everybody gets nabbed. You know? Right? So, like, just don't even look at things logically. Look at things without all the, you know what I mean, stuff going on. Because, you know, like with Mars, you know, like there's always stuff going on. Like there's never just, you know, like always finding out new information. Like it's just constant movement. You know what I mean? But we eliminate all that and just look at things, okay, I got an account, I got a job or whatever. They're giving me money, I want to save some money. You know what I mean? Okay, so I'm going to go put it in a bank account in my free national name where, you know, they don't have to tax it, they don't have to do nothing. It's just going to sit there and then it'll just accumulate and then I have an account. Okay, well, you can do that with a safe. Right? Because all you're doing is eliminating the feudal fee if you use your free national name. Like that's all that you're doing. You know, like a mortgage is a feudal fee. No, not just tax. Like even the price that they put on the whatever we're buying. To buy this juice for $2 plus tax. Right? The whole thing is the feudal fee. And then you get your receipt for paying the fee. And then the receipt is everything. Not the receipt that comes out the machine, everybody tears it off and then give it to you. Like the receipt is the actual item now. Right? When as before it'll be item for item. Right? You got whatever, I got this. You know, where are you keeping that? You're keeping that, you have your stash in the warehouse, which is the bank. Right, so you have your own bank with grain, sugar, wheat, whatever, and then you sell stocks, right? You sell stocks from your bank to the next guy who has stocks in his bank. And then they eliminated all the people having control of that, and then these guys at the top only have control of that. And then people at the bottom thinking that they have to reach for those guys' stuff when they have their own thing that they can start doing. You know, and that's going back to the indigenous mindset. You don't need an account from those guys. You just get a safe, write my bank account on it, and then you have a bank account. Tax free. You can put anything in there. Jewelry, like rubies you find from somewhere, you know what I mean? Right? Because it's really about having things that are valuable. It's not about the fiat. Because the only reason that we have an account is because our paycheck's going in there, or because somebody else needs to get paid, and that's the only way they can get it. Through some card or something. Right? No. So you can do the account. There's nothing wrong with doing it, but it's like, what's the what's gonna come out of it, really, you know? Because either way, you're kind of compromising, right? It does, because even if like okay, okay, like we're talking about registering the business, right? Now, if there's a business set up as a religious corporation, right, since 1929, right? And in that religious corporation, you can do any sub-business once it's dealing with the principles of the parent business. And now it's 2013. And that business from 1929 is still existing and still going strong in 2013. It would be more logical to register with that and do your business under that, so you have 100 years experience. You have 100 years of clout, opposed to registering your business today in 2013, where you have to work 100 years now to make that something. Like, this is the vastness of what Noble Drew Ali did. That he covered all bases for everything that we have to do, that we even think about, it's already covered.
How was that done then?
Well, as now, for example, in Canaan land, they don't have county recorders, right? But how Noble Drew Ali set up the temple was by going to the county recorder, right? Which is proof and validating that he was doing certain things by law, right? Going to the county recorder is where they got the idea of registering, starting to register. And then they just said, we're gonna make it, you know, a lot easier for people to do it here than go there. Just like everything else, you know, just how they get people to switch from, you know, Raisin Bran to cornflakes. You know, it's just flick a switch. The people are just, you know, on a treadmill, so they're easy to control. Right? Now, because there's no, because we converse with the Moors about this, right? Because we were like, damn, okay, if there's no county recorder, right? How would we know that, you know, that it would be put down the way that it's supposed to be put down on their side, so that they know exactly what this is, what it's about, or whatever, right? So, you know, a few of the Moors were saying, well, yeah, register it. And put that in with the registration, right? So they had the registration, right? We filled out the form and all that, you know, Moorish Science Temple of America, you know, address, you know, three sheiks were there, you know, put their names down, and then we registered, right? And then we put in with it, the our authority from the back of the 101, We put that in. We put in the seal, and we put in a introduction letter. Just letting them know, you know, we're in Moorish Science Temple, you know, Prophet Noble Drew Ali and the principles and whatever, right? And then maybe like a month or something like that, they called us and said, oh, well, we have to get a parent letter. Right? And then how come we have to get a parent letter? Oh, well, because, you know, the Moorish Science Temple's been around since, you know, 1913, and, you know, when Noble Drew Ali founded it, he went to Cooks County, and like they're giving us the rundown of what Noble Drew Ali did to set up the temple. Right? Oh yeah, some Europeans, right? So when we came with the parent letter now, right? We brought the parent letter. When we went to the spot, the guy said that it's what was he saying? He said that it's not often we have to get parent letters. Right? It's not often that we have to get parent letters. Most times people just register their business. Right? And in the parent letter, it was stipulating the same thing, our authority 101, Herb's Revised Statute, right? And the look on the guy's face when he took the parent letter and went in the back and then came back out to like tell us, okay, you know what I mean? Like everything's good. You know what I mean? Like, y'all, here's your registration number. You know what I mean? Thank you very much. You know, it was like a relief, you know, that people know that it's not about registering with them. It's about already having been registered and just putting them on notice. Already being registered, putting them on notice. Because everybody keeps forgetting that Noble Drew Ali goes back to early 1900s. Right? Early 1900s. So, as a temple member, you're supposed to be able to have skill, right, that you do through the temple. Because you're a member of the movement. Not the Moorish Divine Movement, the movement. And then the Moorish Science Temple is just the institution set up as a corporate front so that we can do whatever it is that we have to do under this name that they can't touch. And that's what Moorish Science Temple is. And then if we go on a higher level, then it's a consulate, regency, you know what I mean?
What's the parent letter? I just want to make sure I'm clear.
Yeah, the parent letter is just a letter from the parent company saying that you are authorized, right, to do the work that the name you're exercising has been doing. Right?
And that comes from
that came from Grand Sheikh Dawood Ali, who was the one that set us up to have a temple.
Okay.
Right?
Well, so let me ask you this. So, what if your Great Seal?
What of the?
How as far as would that be different?
It its character is the same, right? That it's a national association of Moorish affairs, right? And affairs, right? This is why Drawley said, take your place in the affairs of men. Because affairs is international term, right? Foreign affairs and, right? So by putting that term out there, right? It sets up a jurisdiction basically. You know, that's not religious, it's not whatever, but it's a department that handles Moorish affairs. And it's a department of the Moorish nation. That's why it's Great Seal. Right? And then they have their own seal, that they'll seal documents. Because they are indigenous and they have a right to have their own seal. Especially if they're calling themselves Great Seal, and the only other Great Seal is on the dollar bill, and that's it. And there's no other Great Seals.
So if someone that was Great Seal wanted to register, would it be the same as going under the Moorish Science Temple of America?
No, it's different.
That's what I'm.
That's its own entity. That's its own entity. But it's still by the guidelines, just like Clock of Destiny. Right? Clock of Destiny isn't Moorish Science Temple. It's a different aspect of what Noble Drew Ali brought. You know. And then that aspect was like a teaching institution. Because Clock of Destiny was like Moorish University. You know, teaching you the higher sciences of Moorish science. Into, you know, PhD and all the accolades, if you will, that CMB had. Because he was adept. He was super adept. It was like Piccolo or something. You know.
So you just saying basically to fall under the religious protection.
Right. Ultimately, that's what it is, but the religious protection is still housed within the nation.
Right.
So you still have the national protection if you want to go that far with it. But it's not supposed to get that far once you put up religion. That's why Drew Ali went there, with making the organization religious.
So be it you Great Seal, be it you Moorish Science Temple of America, anything that falls under the Moorish National and Divine Movement of the world is under that umbrella, right?
Right. But again, remember the Moorish Divine and National Movement of the world is the Moorish nation. Right? Right. The Old Canaanite Temple, Moorish Holy Temple of Science, Moorish Science Temple of America, Great Seal, you know, all that is housed in the nation, which is a global movement. But it's really an ancient empire. You know, this is where it goes into, if I told you everything, it'll go back to sleep. Because we have to graduate into what Noble Drew Ali brought. You know, like every time he mentions Moorish Divine and National Movement, he's talking about the empire. Because everything that he said is spirit. So everything that he says, you have to take it to that next degree of what you think that means. Because it's like there's been so much infiltration that the only way you're gonna get it is by going to what's there. Right? And once you go into the literature, you would see where he's talking about the estate. You see where he's talking about the spiritual side of, you know, respecting humanity, right? Where he's talking international, where he's talking synonyms, like using words, using similar words to prove the point. Like why is he gonna call Old Canaanite Temple, right? And then go to Moorish Holy Temple without putting Canaanites on there, right? To show that it was the same people, right? But the name that we fell as is Moors. So that's the name we're gonna have to rise as. And when he said for Moors to be themselves, he's directly telling us to take our place. Because it's already laid out for us. We just have to take the place. But people didn't want it to be that easy. Right? People wanted it to be like an uphill battle for us. You know? They wanted it to be an uphill battle. You know? Yeah, so with the business, it's about doing it under the name of the Moorish Science Temple of America and Prophet Noble Drew Ali as the head, right? Cause like that, so that's how it is in our work. Like Noble Drew Ali is in there, in the registration as the head of this, not them, not somebody else that they might send this to or whatever. Like he's the head of this, right? Being that his personage doesn't die, being a juridic entity, it can't die. That's why, same thing. Everything he did was in the name of Noble Drew Ali, not Sheikh Sharif Abdul Ali, because that's his free national name. You're not just going to put your free national name just out there, just, you know what I mean? When it's just you. You know, because it was really only him back then. Like, everything that got done was because of Noble Drew Ali. Right? Like everything that got done was because of him.
Well, just like it's he and I, and there's no temple here. How would that how could we utilize something like that and there's no temple here?
The best bet would be starting up either one of the known branches if you can't get to Moorish Science Temple of America, because there is Great Seal that is accessible. You know, like Brother Kamal is accessible to people, right? They're founders of Great Seal. being in the public for people to know that there's such a thing called Great Seal. And it's not just, you know, some stuff that you heard. Right?
So so I'm just making sure I'm clear. The Great Seal also, Noble Drew Ali incorporated the Moorish Science Temple of America, and the Great Seal is a branch of the Moorish Science Temple of America.
Right, and there are many branches. The key is the Prophet being the head, right? And them being part of the Moorish movement, which is the empire, not a group of Moorish groups.
So would that make them all a part of the trust that Noble Drew Ali set up?
Well, the trust was set up through Moorish Science Temple of America,
Okay.
right? But the Moorish Empire itself is a trust.
Oh, it is a trust.
It's, yeah, and the beneficiaries of the trust are the Moors, right? That's why in the trust document, in the trust document, the Circle 7, Chapter 47 is used as a part of the claim as the beneficiary, right? Because that's the holy book of the Moors. Nobody else's. I don't care what your holy book says. You know, our holy book says that there's a divine covenant of the Asiatic nation, that Egypt was the capital dominion of the empire, right? And when Egypt was the capital, the Moabites, Canaanites, Hittites, whatever, got land from the Pharaoh to inhabit. And that's a trust. Right? Now the Pharaoh's saying, okay, we're going to put this land right here, and then you guys could just go over there and just use that land. The people are the beneficiaries of the trust. Because theirs anyways, it's not the trustor or the grantors. He was just the one put in place to make sure that the beneficiaries get their whatever they're supposed to get.
He's the executor of the estate.
Right. Which when we proclaim our nationality, we now become the executors of the state, of the estate. Because it's bigger than the Moorish Science Temple of America.
So understanding that the state law and the trust will help us better understand what we're talking about right now.
Right. Right. But not necessarily the workings of estate and trust law, but what makes it up. Right? What makes it up? The triangle. The trustor, the trustee, and the beneficiary. That's the Great Seal. And most times they they have a pyramid, right? When they're breaking it down, right? They have the pyramid, and then they have the top as the trustor, and then they have the trustee, and then they have the beneficiary, right? Like,
just about everything is set up in a pyramid, isn't it?
right?
You go to court, you got the judge, the prosecutor, and the defense attorney.
Yep. You know, so when you're doing the research on it, it's because it would register to you how to set up the trust once you know the parts that make up the trust. And we have all the parts, but it's scattered. Right? We have all the parts, but just like we were saying at the beginning, unity. These Moors over here want to say that their way is the only way that it's going to go down. So if you're not doing it our way, then we don't want to. It doesn't work like that. You know? It doesn't work like that. We have the you know, like the estate sitting there. Everybody's trying to do stuff. A good example is Brother Diallo and those Moors with the farm. You know, in Florida. Like using the birthright. The farm. And everybody who works at the farm, you get vegetables. You get free vegetables. That some of them we sell so we can, you know, bring back whatever. But, you know, that's a trust. We're not paying for nothing. Everybody's working to get their pay. And their pay is not fiat. Pay is lettuce today, it's carrots tomorrow. You know what I mean? Potatoes, whatever they got. You know, it's a trust. And I know that it's, you know, like we have to put out a energy that brings people in. Right? We have to put out an energy that wants people to know that there's other people who want to be free too. You know what I mean? Because not everybody wants to be free. Some people are very cool with being a slave. They're down with it. There ain't no problem. They'll be a slave, no problem. Like that's it. You know what I'm saying? You know, what else was there, yo? Contracts. Right to contracts.
Do you have any DVDs on contracts at all?
No, but what I was gonna show is this.
Yeah. Did we order that one?
If you order this one, this is a good.
I can look at it. I can tell you.
Yeah, we'll take a look. Because we're waiting on that first order to come back right now. The first order of books.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the
Okay.
one that I had checked off on my list.
All right.
This time.
Okay.
Because I remember when we was talking in class about maybe 2 classes ago, maybe, and we were talking about, you know, if you're going to utilize the straw, use the straw to get whatever loans you want to get, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You had mentioned that to us. And, you know, we didn't really expand on that at all, so I was like wondering, well, now that we're talking about, you know, setting up the businesses or what have you.
Yeah.
As in our free national, our free national name, and you know, setting everything up in a trust. That way, basically protect yourself with the corporate veil / trust.
Right. But the straw man's not going to be connected to that trust that you set up in your free national name.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Not.
Yeah.
Right. Understood. So, in what capacity should the straw be used? I mean, I know you said like, well, getting loan, well, what type of loan would that be? Maybe to get a car or something out of necessity?
Yeah, like, well, you know, it's like we're they set that up.
Right.
We never set that up. They set that up and they imposed that on me. Right? Okay, so right there already it's fraud. Right? But it's so deep of a fraud that they're not even if you come to them in free national name, they're like, whatever. Right? For argument's sake. Right? Like, nah, we're not even going there with that. Right? If it's out of necessity, then here's the straw. But just know that every time I use this name right here, you know, this how my signature is gonna look from now on. Matter of fact, here's the stamp, whatever, and I'm gonna sign over that. And that's how I'm using that name. Don't expect anything else. Well, you can't really do that like that because I don't want to hear it. Because you can't tell me that I can't do that. And you just reserve your rights when you use that. And anything that you use with regard to that, always reserve your rights. Even if it's a, you know, they have the ones now where it's like a computer screen with the pen. You write on the screen, you know. Yeah, all rights reserved, even with that shit there.
I've done that.
Yeah, like straight. Yeah, it's gonna be all crooked or whatever, you know what I mean? Right. But
times I didn't remove my DLs.
Yeah.
They looked at me like, I'm like, you better be on my, you know what I mean? Yeah, sure.
yeah, man. So yeah, it's like you just use it. You just use it as what it is. You know, it's you know, because it's not like, you know, I remember Brother Nature saying one time, and this is like years ago, saying, you know, it's not easy right now to just proclaim your nationality. As when we came in, you know what I mean? And you just go to the county, file your paper, bam, and that's it. And you're legit, like nobody's not telling you nothing. Now, you can't even trust the court, the county recorder. County recorder could be an agent.
Most of them are.
Right. Right? You know? Which is where it goes full circle, right back to what Noble Drew Ali laid down. So we have our own seals, so that means we're notaries. So why don't we just file our own stuff? You know what I mean?
It doesn't, you know, like when if you want to file your papers at the county courthouse, it doesn't have to be filed in the courthouse in the county in which you live, as long as it's recorded, correct? As long as it's a matter of public record, right?
Yeah, but it goes back to that same thing as to with the account. You know what I mean? Why have an account if I could just have a safe? You know, like we already have a public records.
Yeah.
Our own.
Yeah.
That you can send your paperwork to and they'll seal it and they'll file it.
So it's not necessary, is what you're saying, because
Yeah.
we have our own.
Because we got our own. Because, you know, because we are, you know, we're the Moorish nation. Why wouldn't we have our own filing? Why wouldn't we have our own nationality cards? Why wouldn't we have our own right to travel pass? Why wouldn't we have our own paperwork, letterhead, seals, emblems, flag? Why wouldn't we have that stuff? right? You know, because remember, Juali set up everything so that there's something when the system crashes. You know what I mean? He's set up for the prophesized. He didn't set up for 1913 to 1929. He set up for these generations.
We have something we want to be a little bit clear on.
Yeah.
Okay, we got our judicial proclamations and corrections. We get those sealed, Morris Notary. We're gonna use the process on RB Bay.
Yeah.
And get it sealed through RB Bay.
Yeah.
There's 2 spots for witnesses. That's not necessary with the seal. Is that right?
No, if it gets sealed, it's going to the seal, the person sealing is gonna be the witness,
So another two
right? But they might witness with someone, which will make the 3, right? Because you're gonna be on it, and then there's gonna be 2 other people on it,
Right.
right?
from there.
From that end, the other end.
Yeah, from there,
Okay.
yeah, right, yeah. So it's gonna be, it'll have the amount of the three signatures on there, right?
We just want to be clear on
Yeah.
that.
But it doesn't take away from having, 3 people on it, and then them
We're
putting
saying it because it's sometimes you might be in a situation where it's not available. So
right.
We just want to make sure we good. That's all.
Yeah.
So we don't have to wait, or we can just go ahead and just do that and don't have to wait on anyone.
Right. Because once you and this is where it comes into getting set up through one of those branches, so you have access to seals that for yourself. You know what I mean? Opposed to having to wait for stuff, because like Annie talks about, her emails inundated. You know what I mean? So more they're busy.
So how would we go about like if we wanted to be able to be more notaries with seals? How would we go about being able to do that?
Yeah, it's just being belonging to one of the associations that are sealed, that use seals, because not all of them do. I mean, some people only have a seal on their charter and that's it, and they don't use a seal for nothing else. When that's not the perspective. The seal is for sister comes and she has some issues and they want to vaccinate children and all that stuff. You go in religious mode and you draft up your, member of the Morris Science Temple, you know what I mean? Or religious rights and whatever, blah, 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 right? And then sign that and then you put the seal on it to make it legit.
It would be good if we had that for ourselves. We don't have to go and search and hunt anybody on Ask Moors. They claim that they are not Morris notaries. then when you ask a question about a seal, they ignore you.
See, this is where it goes to why we don't really stray. You know what I mean? Like, we're not going to nobody else that we heard about that has something. We're sticking with foundation. You know? And we know that foundation has the seals and has whatever it is that we need, so it's not, you know, it's not a rush to try to, you know what I mean? Like, that's there. It's not an issue. Let's get down to the studying and trying to get this word out to these people, because us, like, you know, like we got seals. We don't even use seals like that. You know what I mean? Like, because it's like, am I really gonna put a seal on a document for you, color of law guys? You know what I mean? Like, nah. You guys don't deserve a seal. You just get some witnesses and that's it. 'Cause you guys are de facto. You're gonna get the rub. We don't need any handouts to deal with you. We don't need no seal handouts. You know what I mean? The seal on the document make it look legit. Nah. Right? Like, we know who we are around here. You know what I'm saying? We're not showing you no seal to get nothing in the mail and all that. Yo, here's the ID, show, give me the stuff. You don't need to see no letter. You know? But, you know, if you know, a youth man comes, you know what I mean? I need some hours, you know, my court, whatever, you know, oh yeah, we'll put a seal on that. Well, yeah, you gotta go to court for hours, yeah. Okay, yeah, take this in. Let them know you did the hours with the Morris Science Temple. Let them know that's where you did your volunteer work. You know?
See, it's knowledge in the meantime.
Yeah. You know, but a lot of, you know, like it's just, it's a time factor, right? With the information, like, you know, like certain questions that people ask, I know they have the capacity to answer those questions. You know what I mean? You know, like, yo, it's, you know, but there's so much stuff out there, man. Like, they go hard to distract us from what we're supposed to do, you know. They go hard to divert to get us just, you know, it's like a brother was asking me about writs, right? Yeah, you know, I need to write some writs for, you know, blah blah, you know, the format, example, whatever, you know. And brother was in the info for, you know, he's not just into the info, you know what I mean? I'm like, you ever been to RV Bay Publications? Well, yeah, man, I go down there all the time, you know what I mean? I'm always on that website, I'm always on that site. You ever been to the Writs of Freedom site? Yeah, I've been there, you know what I mean? I seen the, you know, the writs and the quo warranto and the blah, blah, blah. You ever click those little things right there? What little things? The green things. No, go click the green thing. Right? And then this man goes there and he goes and finds everything that he was asking about. Like everything that he was asking about. You know what I mean? Right? You know? Everything. Right? And he knew to go there. Like, he's been on that site. Just on that site. But, yeah, you might be on that site, but you're not on that site as much as you're really on that site if you're missing to click that thing right there. Something got your attention away from clicking that thing right there. And then that was the point of that distraction, to get you not to click that thing right there. You know what I mean? You know, and sometimes it's dramatic, and then sometimes it's just, yeah, I know this already. You know what I mean? I know this already. It's like went to where did I go to? I was at the print shop, right? Hindustani man. So I was printing, what was I printing? How did I go to print? I was printing out the thing for class, the notes for class. And I guess one of the pictures like, yo, what's this about or whatever? I'm like, yo, it's some classes that we do, you know, Moorish history classes. Like, oh, Moorish history classes, that's good, or whatever. I'm like, you know how, we teach people about law and, history and whatever. You know, the Moors been in America for, thousands of years. Like, the Moors been in America for thousands of years? Yeah, like, yeah, we're talking about the slave trade or whatever. They was telling me about India and the Dalits and how they treat the Dalits like they treat the black people during slavery and all this type of stuff, right? So I'm like, everybody knows what's up, right? If he can be from a different place and reference, right? Because he was a fair-skinned Hindustani, right? He could reference that in his country where he comes from, the people who are ridiculed and whatever are the dark-skinned people. And he's relating that to the history in the Americas, right? With black people being slaves, right? But knowing that they were something before they got to that position. And that what they have to do is they have to be that again. But they don't know how to do that. It's common now. And it's only picking up speed. We're the seal. You can even put your thumbprint on a document. There's the seal right there. And then that comes down to the same thing of, the many ways to skin a cat. You get 7 people, everybody use their thumbprint. That's a sealed document. That's a sealed document. Right? And then everybody has their L or Bay on. That's a very sealed document then. Trying to think of what else. Did y'all check out the Latif Bey videos?
I didn't look on it. Talking about
Yeah, I seen that on the post on Facebook.
Yeah. What do you think of that? What do you think of that?
What did I think of it?
Yeah. The post.
I personally didn't have a problem with it. I felt like the fact that he paid homage to acknowledge the fact that we are two indigenous people of the land, kind of to me spoke volumes.
Right.
And that he's, he seems like he's with the younger generation of Albions, but
yeah.
I didn't have a problem with it.
For real.
I seen some posts, we talked about in the beginning, some negative posts about it, but at the end of the day, truth will always stand.
Yeah, straight. He was dropping some truth.
And for people to recognize that, we need more people to stand up and just face the truth.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's yeah, it was disgusting what some Moors were saying.
And there was some pretty fiery
Yeah,
comments.
yeah, man. Everybody turned to SETI all of a sudden.
At the end of the day, truth is always the light. It doesn't matter who get upset about it or not. Truth is what it is.
For real. What were you sis? With the post?
What about you?
I didn't watch the video.
Oh, you never see the video? Okay.
I did see the comments.
Yeah, yeah. For real. Yeah, man.
So I declare war. So, serious about it. He's pulling everything out, Circle 7, the Quran, everything, man.
Yep. You know,
At the end of the day, it is what it is. So.
pretty much, bro. Pretty much. You know.
My only thing about that was we discussed it was you said he proclaimed his nationality,
Yeah.
but I wonder if the concern is how, I mean, so now he's entitled to this state as well.
Okay, let's look at it. Let's look at it like this, right? Let's look at it like this.
Because wouldn't he be like the second born instead of the first?
Yeah, yeah. But the second born's entitled though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He might not get as big as a cut, but he's still entitled. It's up for him. It's up for him to claim it. You know.
$4, here we go, $1.
It's like it's like you ever heard of Irish Americans and German Americans? Okay, and English Americans or British Americans or whatever, French Americans. All right, so what did those people do? Didn't they proclaim their nationality? Remember, proclaiming their nationality is proclaiming who you are.
Who your allegiance is to also, right?
Right, because when they say, like, he proclaimed his nationality, okay? His nationality is European. But he has allegiance with the Moors. So he's a Moorish subject. And he has the clip sovereignty. Because he's given up some of his birthright to come under this birthright. It's like the Turkish American gives up some of his Turkish to come under the American, but that's a fraud because they're really becoming citizens of the U.S. So they should be Turkish U.S's and French U.S's and Irish U.S's. They shouldn't be American. When they come into being Moors again, then they get America. You know? That's
Is
the
he
one.
tied to the corporation?
Yeah, you're tied to the corporation. Proclaiming your nationality is getting you out of the corporation. You know what I mean? Proclaiming your nationality is freeing you from the corporation. That's why the Manchurian lady came to class and immediately, you know, because we dropped the exam to her, she's like, we're like, okay, so you're from China, yeah. Okay, so could a European come to China and start up a Department of Motor Vehicles? She's like, no. right? How come? Because that's not their land. I'm like, all right, right? Like, that's how simple it is, right? And we're showing her, well, not only China's your land, but also America's your land too, because you're more. You're not Chinese. She's like, really? Yeah, really. You're not only from over there. You were over here with us for thousands of years. You weren't just over there in China. You were over here too. So you also have a birthright over here. That's why they keep coming here. You know what I mean? Leaving where they're from to come over here. You know?
So you start up with the Department of Motor Vehicles and then police us.
Right. You know? Right. And that's what any organization, corporation, whatever. You know what I mean? McDonald's can't just go to China and just build a McDonald's just because they want to do that.
In China.
You know what I mean? You got to go through the correct channels before you even come over here.
So that'll be like, okay, so they come over here, they want to start their corporation up, okay, here you go. Now you got to follow the rules, right?
Right, exactly. Right. But they don't call them that. They don't call them that. They call them Americans. Chinese Americans.
Right.
When they're not Chinese, the only way that they're Chinese Americans is if they're more subjects.
I'm talking about in relation to the corporation.
Yeah.
Like the foreign, they're Europeans coming here on our land.
Right.
To start, to do business.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
now you have to go through something to be able to set it up.
Right.
Here we go. This is gonna be the format, and you're gonna have to follow this.
Yeah.
And they always they're treating the citizens inhumanely.
Yeah.
So when you kill them, you kill yourself also.
Right. They're not doing that.
Because the track record here is horrible.
Yeah.
People don't see that.
It's crazy.
They really don't see it until you make them see it. A lot of people.
Yeah.
I've got a pulpit I'm in every day at the shop. A lot of them don't see it until they don't realize, they might see it, but it's like it's there, but they don't see it.
Yeah.
It's like me standing still. You saw me, but you walked by me, but you saw me, but you didn't see me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we've been taught to think about it a different way.
Yeah. So
You looking at it with different eyes.
it's always brainwashed.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a science. They've been conducting experiments
Exactly.
forever.
Yep.
That's why when people go into those little so-called color courtrooms or whatever, they reading, they staring at you, they looking at your eyeballs, they looking at your body language and your demeanor, they looking at everything.
Yeah, that's an experiment right there.
That's right.
Yeah, straight up.
He looked up and to the left, and he's lying.
Yep. His palms are sweaty.
Yeah, on all that, But it's our job to be on that as well. So
For real.
at the end of the day, I ain't gonna hate. I'm just gonna level playing field.
Yeah. Straight
That means
up.
I have to smash 10 of them. I have to smash 10 of them to put them in their place.
Mm.
I'm not gonna do anything unjust though.
Yeah.
I know we got a lot of studying to do and a lot of things to start comprehending, and start losing, and untraining our brain to this European way of thinking.
Right.
I studied economics when I was in school, and I always thought it was bullshit. You know what I mean? I give you a perfect example. They brag about the free enterprise system, and they talk about Marx and all these other people with the socialist economic systems and stuff. It don't work. Free enterprise best. Hell yeah, free enterprise work if you're getting all the damn labor for free.
Yeah.
Right?
For real.
But if it ain't free no more, shit don't work.
Yeah.
It starts to fall apart. You know, and that's what it's been doing. It's falling apart.
Yeah.
You ain't whipping nobody with chains and stuff and getting all the bells and cotton and all that stuff picked anymore. So all those things are changing. The dynamics are changing.
Yeah.
You know, so sometimes when I ask questions about the economics, I know I'm not trying to think like a European. I'm just trying to think in terms of, hey, how can I do something to make our situation better? If I had to use them, you know, their situation against them or whatever, you know, that's how I think sometimes. I'm explaining that to you so you know.
Yeah.
That's all I'll be doing until I get to that point where I'm got a spiritual understanding of what direction to take.
Yeah.
That's I kind of meditate a little bit more on now.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
We talked with Fontaine a couple days ago. Gave me a couple ideas, so I'm kind of doing some research now in those directions to see how that worked out. So it can be frustrating because you know, it's not like we're in a small fight.
Right. The fight is huge, bro. The fight is huge.
I'm sorry, what you say, brother?
No, I said the fight is huge.
Yes, this is a rabbit hole to go deep.
Yeah. That's the good part, though.
Yeah.
No, that's the good part. It's not no shallow waters.
No.
You know.
It's deep.
Yeah, man.
So.
You have fun in this.
Yes, it is. I don't have any questions, you know, for now.
Yeah, man. We'll set up, cause I know, you know, cause I also too with the classes and stuff like that. You know, the other classes and you know, the Tajes and all that, the Jabbar and the Fonteas and all that. You know, there's a lot of info's getting out. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. But these little sessions are good. You know, these sessions are good, you know, because more still need to connect on a level. You know what I mean?
Every little bit helps.
Yeah.
This is just what well, I don't know about, I can speak for myself, this is what I need
For
right
real.
here.
I always need more knowledge.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not always just about the knowledge, sometimes it's just about the fellowship.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, even on that level, most times it's about that.
Yeah.
You know, because that's really where you're gonna get the energy from.
No, it's like no man is an island.
Exactly. No man is an island.
You hear people saying one man army. No, I don't know about that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Let's see about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You might do a little damage, but you damn sure ain't an army by yourself.
Straight up.
Small thing, something.
Yeah, yo. So yeah, man. So that's what close it out.
We appreciate you.
Yeah, man, no problem. Anytime, yo, anytime. And thanks for keeping us in the loop, you know, so we can get this done. Cause it's getting there, you know what I mean? When you see a Manchurian lady come to the temple and want to learn, you know something's up. You know something's up, yo. Something's definitely up. So yeah, Morris, appreciate y'all, man.
Let me ask you something real quick before it's gonna be quick. What do you think about, because I want to air this out. What do you think about people, just like we have in class, and somebody wants to bring their child?
Yeah.
Just tell me what your thoughts on it. Bringing the child to class.
If she doesn't have no babysitter or nothing, then we're gonna have to accommodate, you know what I mean, the child. Whether it's see if we gotta get another room, you know what I mean, and somebody could just be in there kind of babysitting, you know what I'm saying. But it's best not to have a child in class because they're unpredictable.
So,
but depends on the age, you know what I mean? Like if we're talking child like 1, 2, 3, you might have a hard time with them sitting there watching a lecture. you know. So you might want to have like a separate somewhere where they can go and air out their energy, you know, because if they just stay there, they're gonna get frustrated eventually, and they're gonna start tearing the place up. You know what I mean? And then, you know, people are funny. You know, some people don't understand it's a child and they do what they do, you know. Some people get mad and stuff, so, you know, you have to accommodate for people like on that level too. Who, you know, nothing can happen. No, nothing could disturb me when I'm in my studying mode because, you know, my studying mode, you know. Like, some people are hard like that. But whatever, you know, I mean, if child has to be there, child has to be there. But it's best if you know, there's no children, unless they're of the age that they can actually sit there and, you know, color or something like that or whatever, you know what I mean? You know? But yeah, man, ultimately we want the children there, you know. Ultimately we want them there, but depends on the age group and, you know, parent will know best. You know, some of them got the tornado children that you don't want to be bringing them to class. You know. Yeah, you know.
I guess I'm the more militant parent.
Yeah.
Because I don't have issues like that with even other people's children.
Yeah.
When they have issues like that with their own children, I don't have the same issues out of them.
For real.
The same ones.
Yeah, see, so that's like a signal of, you know, like, start up the temple out there as a school. You know, people really want to bring their children or don't want to bring their children. Well, okay, you stay home and send your children then. We don't need you here. Just send the children over. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then do it on a Saturday, so that way, you know, they get that discipline. You know what I mean? Like how we used to get back in the day. You know, you have to get up for piano or something, swimming class or something back in the day. You know, they don't even have that stuff no more. I don't even hear about none of that. You know, everybody's into something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yo, I want to ask too, what's going on down there with the bankruptcy and all that?
Mine? Oh, you talking about Detroit?
Detroit, yeah.
I don't know. I haven't heard much else about it. I know they're supposed to come to some kind of resolution pretty quick here, weren't they?
For real. No, I didn't really take it in, you know, I just heard that.
For a minute, but I haven't seen it.
For real.
Now that you mentioned it, I'm going to Google it.
I haven't seen it on the online news.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to have to Google it. Find out. I know there's something that was supposed to happen recently.
Okay. For real. Yeah, it just came across my mind just now. I was like, oh shit, I haven't heard about nothing from Detroit, you know. Yeah. Morris.
You see the thing going on circulating on Facebook? They said they want to over there build up in Syria. What they say? But they won't fix Detroit. You seen those posts?
Oh yeah.
Houses look like somebody bombed them.
Yeah.
See, that's all about money.
You know, but again, you know, they're letting the people know, like, you guys do it. You know what I mean? It's your estate, right? It's your estate. All these so-called, you know, people want to own basketball team or whatever, go buy Detroit. You know what I mean? How about they use their fiat for that? How about they do that? Since it's a corporation, and these guys are into buying corporations, they're buying basketball teams and all that stuff, why don't you buy Detroit? And spiffy it up, you know, like Stick Up Kids, you know? And then save the hood and be the black champions of the world, and everybody's gonna love you guys. But nah, they want a basketball team and record label.
I have something. I just thought about something. Okay, Obama's mom is European, right?
Mm.
And his dad is a Moor.
Yeah.
So wouldn't that make him a European Moor? Because his mother is European. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
His mother.
Yeah, his mother is European.
His mother is European.
Yeah. Yeah.
But from what I understand, the father determines the bloodline.
His mother is European.
I understand.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Being that his mom's European and it goes through the mother, then he should be European. But you know that's where the when you get the cross and then you have the Klansman, one drop of blood makes you a nigger or whatever. One drop of nigger blood and we could put you on a tree. And if his dad's Asiatic, then he has more than one drop in him.
A whole bunch of drops.
So he'll qualify still as a Moor first.
Wouldn't that what he said, your father determined the bloodline, ain't that patriarchal flip?
Yeah, right, yeah. Because the matriarch, because the blood comes through the mother, because child's with her the longest. We ain't about 2 minutes. You know what I mean?
That's still like trying to get back.
But I guess the one drop, we're gonna put the one drop rule in. That's
if you're depends on the game,
we'll kill you too.
Yeah, depends on the game. If it's for their benefit, yeah. If it's for their benefit, he's a European. If it's for our benefit, oh no, he's a Muslim, a black guy, black president, first black president of the black people.
And they made such a big thing about that with him saying he's Muslim, but it's supposed to be so technically it's not supposed to matter, right?
Right, yeah, technically.
It's not supposed to matter, but basically you have to be Christian to be president.
Yeah.
That's the UDOT
of the UDOT Corporation, yeah.
They kind of what they were doing. Wait a minute, that's not supposed to make a difference anyway.
Right.
It's not supposed to, but
that's the Christian Muslim thing right there.
Yeah. Politics. The politics,
Politics.
Yeah, politics for real. Definitely politics.
Hey, these people for a tongue, they don't tell the truth about guns. So I'm gonna kill you. When you did that, we're supposed to be saying prayer.
Yeah.
So we gotta go.
Yeah, Morris.
I do that. I would be late, here with this national line.
For real. All right, Morris. Let's close up.
Sometime with him. Oh yeah,
Right.
yeah. I know we usually spend about 2.5 hours.
Yeah, let's close up. Yeah, Morris. Good class today.
Yep.
I like that T-shirt, bro.
Yeah, this was a elder out here. I have to give him a call actually. Elder Sarah. I think his website is Cosmic Connections. SAR-RA. SAR-RA. Elder Sarah. Site should come up if you just Google his name. Yeah, he used to make T-shirts. So this is one of his He's a spiritual artist too. So this is like all by his hand. Yeah. Yeah, man, give thanks. 5 on the left, 2 on the right. Allah, the Father of the universe.
Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth.
Truth.
Peace.
Peace.
Freedom.
Freedom.
And justice.
And justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide.
My guide.
And my salvation.
And my salvation.
By night.
By night.
And by day.
By day.
Through his holy prophet.
His holy prophet.
Noble Drew Ali.
Noble Drew Ali.
Islam.
Islam.